What are the top 10 marketing models which have stood the test of time? Well, in this video, you guys are going to find out. I'm Ben, and welcome to Social Genie. We're a digital marketing agency which specializes in helping people like you grow their brand and business through the power of digital marketing. But if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe and join the channel by hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on if you want more tips, tricks, and hacks to help grow your brand and business. With that being said, let's dive in. Now, kicking things off, the first model I'm going to cover, shout out to Smart Insights for the information here. This is called the race model, and it's quite an interesting model. And first of all, let me just tell you guys, marketers and executives, they love acronyms. I believe there's an acronym for almost everything these days, and some executives even just talk in acronyms, and it's pretty crazy to listen to. But here's the first one we're going to cover, the first acronym marketing model, and this is called the race model. So we have reach, act, convert, engage. Very similar to the traditional funnel where you have awareness, consideration, and then conversion. This is really tracking the buyer journey or the prospect journey. Now, reach here, you've got the different channels. You can have SEO, content marketing, display ads, search ads, pay-per-click. Then you have act, so they might click one of the ads, they might engage with a piece of your website's content. Then that will go to your landing page, your product page. Of course, this can all be tracked via your analytics. Then you can remarket to those people. You can use conversion rate optimization to optimize the conversions from the reach stage to the act stage. And then, of course, you go on to conversion. That's a prerequisite model. Now let's go on to model number one of the classic models. And we're going to kick things off with the 7 Ps of marketing. So we've got product, promotion, price, place, people, process, and physical evidence. I've not seen that one before, but yeah, it's been a long time since I've covered this. But yeah, very, very interesting there. Of course, we've got product. You can discuss the product's quality, its branding, its features, its variants. Where does your product sit? Is it a high-end product? Is it mid-range product? Is it a low-cost product? You've got promotion, so of course there's various ways to promote your product or service. Okay, on to model number 2. This is the classic USP, unique selling point. I won't really dive into that because it's pretty obvious what that one is. Okay, diving into model number 3, and this is Boston Consulting Group's matrix model. Now, this is a well-known MBA model. We've got cash generation, cash usage, market growth rate, and relative market share. So the stars, these are the star companies. They're ones that have high market share and also a high market growth rate. So they're really the best of the best. You can think about companies such as Uber. They have a high market share, I believe around 70%, and also a high growth rate, I believe around 30% on their revenues. You can also have other companies which maybe have a low. You can also have other companies which have a low cash usage or a low market growth rate, but they have high market shares. So that's a cash cow company. You can think about stable cash flows. The company's really not going anywhere. For example, Warren Buffett's recently invested into a few railroads. Railroads are really a free cash flow generating machine, but they're not really growing super fast. Then you've got the dog businesses. So these have low market share and low growth. You really don't want to touch them. The problem child companies, these have low market share. They're growing quite fast, but there's still a lot of challenges ahead. Okay, on to model number 4, and this is the brand positioning map. Now, hopping in right here, this really helps to think about your brand in terms of its products and features and where it fits in the market. So, for example, if you're an automotive company, you may be looking at, let's say you're Porsche, and you're saying, okay, we're at the luxury end. We have 2 seats. That's us. We're not really targeting the people that go for the economy car, such as the Mini Cooper, but that also has 2 seats, so we need to be aware of that. But we're also not really competing against the luxury family car, such as the BMW Taurus. So we're not really competing directly with them either. And then you've also got the economy family cars, such as the Volvo. So it just helps to think about your product and where it fits in the market. And this really helps to define your marketing messaging later. Okay, on to model number 5, and this is customer lifetime value models. So hopping in here, guys, this is really tracking your entire customer journey. So you have a first-time visitor, they could visit your website. For example, you have a returning visitor, so they may visit your website, leave, and then come back. They could come back via a remarketing campaign. They may register on your website. Then the visitor may start to purchase products, so they purchase once or more times. Now, customer lifetime value is very important for your calculations of cost per acquisition, or CPA, because really what you want to know is, okay, if we're paying $5 for a customer at the moment, how much is that customer on average worth to us over the lifetime of that customer? This is vital to know and does help to calculate your marketing spend, because it may look like you're losing money on your advertising initially, but according to your customer lifetime value, actually you're going to become immensely profitable. Okay, on to model number 6, and this is the growth strategy matrix. Now, another name for this is the Ansoff model, and is a matrix that can be used to identify alternative growth strategies by looking at present and potential products in current and future markets. So for example, here you can see we've got existing products, new products, existing markets, new markets. So we've got different strategies. So let's say you've got an existing product and you want to grow it further. Well, you can look at new markets. So you can look at new geographies, so expand internationally, new customer segment, what other people may like our product, as well as the existing people that purchase our product. So how can you expand your market base? And with new products, you might say, okay, if person A is buying this of our existing products, for example, let's say it's a hair product. If person A is buying our really expensive combs and they love these combs, maybe they'll also be interested in some type of hair shampoo or some type of hair cleaning product. So that could be a product which could really add on to your existing product line and upsell to your customer quite easily. Or you can really take a bold bet. You can go into a new market with an entirely new product. On to model number 7, and this is the loyalty ladder model. So very similar to the customer lifetime value models that we looked at. So the loyalty ladder model really does track your entire customer journey. So people start off as a prospect, unaware about your business. They become a customer, then they can move to a client, a supporter, and then finally what you really want is advocates of your brand. So you see a lot of this with Tesla at the moment. They have a serious amount of brand advocates, which is one of the reasons why that company has reached over a $1 trillion market cap at the moment. On to model number 8, and this is Porter's 5 forces. Now, I remember covering this model back in economics school. This is a very interesting one. So really, it's all about who has the power in the market that you're in. So for example, if you've got rivalry in an industry, you have the threat of substitute products, you have the threat of new entrants, you have the bargaining power of suppliers, and the bargaining power of buyers. And if you're in a market where, let's say, you have pricing power, so you could sell the only one of that type of product, you might have a patent on that product, then you could say you have pricing power and you also have bargaining power over your customers. But if you're selling a commodity product, which is very similar to everybody else, let's say something like toothpaste, this is said to have elastic demand, as the price is usually fixed at a certain level. Whichever person goes cheaper, most customers tend to migrate to that specific product. Now, the way the company changes their product from being elastic to more inelastic, they can do this via marketing, via brand, and also via competitive advantages and moats. Okay, on to model number 9, and this is the product life cycle. Now, I'm a big fan of this model, and it also follows the business life cycle model very closely. So when a new product is launched, let's say something like Facebook, it starts off the introduction stage. There you have the early adopters, the people that just really want to experiment and test out something new and interesting. Then as the product starts to grow and become successful, the mainstream people start to use the product quite heavily. So it goes through a growth phase. Then the product stage reaches maturity. Some of the customers will continue using the product, while others will start to use different products, more newer, innovative products and services. So Facebook's really at that stage at the moment. They're not really at the high growth stage that they once were. They recently actually announced their results, their financial results, and their user growth had actually declined slightly for the first time ever, thanks to new entrants such as TikTok, according to their earnings call. So TikTok is currently in the growth stage, Facebook's in the maturity stage, bordering on saturation, which is why they've changed their name to Meta, or some say Feta, and they hope to diversify into the metaverse, into augmented reality, in order to reignite their brand and get back to this stage, which is the growth stage. Okay, the final model I'm going to dive into, number 10, is called the SOSTAC model. Now, this really is a general business model and helps to define your business strategy. So you have a situation analysis first. So what's our goals? What's our consumer insight? What's our marketplace? So you do our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, SWOT analysis. What's our brand perception? What's our capabilities as a business? Then Then you go on to your objectives, so that you can use the 5 S's for this. So this could be sell, customer acquisition, retention targets, serve, customer satisfaction targets, sizzle, speak, save. So they're the different objectives. Then you go on to, okay, what's the strategy we can use to achieve our objectives? So we could go segmentation, targeting, positioning, and then we could go more detailed down into our individual tactics. So this could be specific email campaigns, specific marketing campaigns that we're going to use. Then we can go on certain actions, who's responsible for what internal resources will we need to accomplish our objectives. And then finally controls, so we can analyze the analytics, analyze the metrics, analyze the KPIs, and we can go back in a feedback loop in order to gradually improve our strategy, our tactics, in order to really get the results and reach the goals that we're trying to achieve. If you're sitting there now and you're thinking, okay, Ben, that sounds fantastic, but I'd love help with my own business, my own digital marketing, then feel free to reach out to us. Our link below in the description below with our email and our website contact. Feel free to reach out to us and we can help you guys put together a step-by-step marketing plan. With that being said, if you guys did find value in this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. It helps out tremendously with the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet and joined the family, feel free by hitting that subscribe button, turning that notification bell on if you want more tips, tricks, and hacks to help grow your brand and business. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have an incredible day from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you in our next video. Keep growing.